Welcome back to the channel. What is going on with the goings on with Prosecutor Love and Antonio Mounk Tounk Sledge? He started his testimony. So we're going to get straight into it. They start off about inquiring about Little Woody. Let's go.
You tell the jury how it was that you came to meet Mr. Copeland over a disagreement. What happened?
I don't remember exactly what happened, so I just knew I remember we had a disagreement.
What kind of disagreement?
It was just like an argument.
Now, is it that you came in contact with him, you met him, and immediately you all started, like, arguing with one another? Or something you heard? Help me out.
Relevance again.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background of what Prosecutor Love is going to get into with Antonio Sledge, a.k.a. Mounk Tounk, as the witness. So if you didn't know, he was a co-defendant and pleaded guilty in December 2022. He took a plea deal. So let me give you a little bit of info on what's going on. Mounk Tounk was charged with 2 counts in the indictment. He was sentenced to 15 years probation for the RICO count. His other count is gun possession by a felony, which is still pending. The state is hanging it over his head and will dismiss it if he adheres to the deal. If he violates any part of his plea deal, he is facing as much as 35 years for this count, as well as his probation being revoked and having to serve the remainder of that time as well. He also agreed in the plea to special conditions. He agreed that he will testify about every specific admission he makes on the following pages that you're going to see. And he also agrees that they are true. He also gave up his Fifth Amendment right to any of those statements. I did a video about his plea agreement. So if you want to go thoroughly into it, it's on my page. Also, he agrees to testify that YSL is a gang, that he and 2 people threatened to harm a rival gang member on behalf of YSL. He committed drive-bys on behalf of YSL, etc. He also agrees that he personally knows that 1 or more YSL associates killed Nut on behalf of YSL, and that Thug gave them money to lay low in Miami, directly after. He is not allowed to truthfully assert that anyone in the trial is not guilty of the murder at any point. He also identifies 2 addresses that are supposedly placed where YSL associates sell drugs and do not let other gangs operate. He also says he has personal knowledge of members of YSL committing RICO crimes to increase the YSL. The last page are just all the stuff saying what happens if he violates his agreement. His deal is by far the most damaging plea deal out of the 9 deals accepted. Although he doesn't directly implicate any of the defendants, and some of the stuff was already dealt with through Woody, there is a lot in here that incriminates YSL as a group. So let's get straight into it.
Is it a safe assumption to say that you trust your attorney?
Yes.
Okay. And since you're referencing 444 Yankee and you're referencing signing it, did you have access to your attorney at the time you signed it?
Yes. But also, when I brought to my attorney attention about that document and told him that that wasn't correct, he came back to me and told me, you said initial, and then I'll be able to explain when I come here today.
Mr. Sledge, please tell the jury whether you requested certain items that were different than what is contained in 444 Yankee to be either changed or removed from that document before you signed it.
When I tried to get it changed, he came back to me, it wouldn't change. Them is exact words to me. When I brought in concern about it, he came back to me and say, you wouldn't change.
Mr. Sledge, do you understand the question that I'm asking you?
Yes.
Would you please tell the jury whether there were changes
No, it
to
was no
this
change.
document
There was no change.
that you personally requested through your attorney?
Yes, and you didn't change.
Is it your testimony that no changes were made to that document
No change was made to my
from its original form?
No.
I'm going to show you just... Now, are you saying or no, you don't remember?
I don't remember, but I think most definitely you didn't change nothing. I'm trying to think, because I don't really... I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're saying. If that makes sense.
What do you mean? You understand, but you don't.
Because you're saying trying to boost the reputation of YSL in the street. Because I don't think anything I would have done would have been to boost the name of YSL in the streets.
Did you not mean to include yourself in the earlier statement that you made when you said YSL is an organization made up of 3 or more members or associates who share common identifiers that include but are not limited to colors, hand signals, and terminology, who have committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL? Did you not mean to include yourself in that group of 3 or more people, or was there someone else?
I included myself because I knew I committed a crime, but I wouldn't say the crime was just because to boost the reputation of YSL in the streets. It was about principle.
And when you say it was about principle in what way as it relates to YSL? Because that's what I'm talking about.
That's why the question hard to answer, because you keep putting it as YSL.
Now, you said I keep putting it as YSL.
Yes.
Did you testify earlier that the statement that I read to you during my question is a statement you made? Did you make that assertion on December 28th, 2022? Is that something that you said yes to?
Yeah, but I didn't make that question or that answer. That was your question and your answer. And when I was trying to correct you on that, you wouldn't let me correct you on it.
Heard Defendant Williams referencing pick his ass off the balcony.
All music is entertainment, so he probably did say it in the song, but it's only entertainment. That don't mean what he rapping about in the song gotta be something he doing.
Okay.
Anyone doing.
Did you understand me to be asking you about what he was doing or what the song was?
That's what the song say, but that's your basic you trying to get at. I ain't retarded. I know your basic you trying to get at, man. I never, like, at the club, Garlington got jumped up. Which, the music, which didn't have anything to do with anyone else besides Me and Garlington.
How do you know?
How did I know they had nothing to do with no one there?
Yes, and yes.
Because no one else was in the club with us got their hands put on me.
So, who was it that put hands on Garlington?
I don't know. It was a group of guys. I didn't see no faces, none of that.
So, how are you able to tell the jury that it had nothing to do with anyone except you and Garlington when you can't say who put their hands on you?
Well, I can say what Garlington told me, but I can't tell you. Do I know it's personally was those guys? Because there's a lot of them, but I tell you what Garlington told me.
Were those guys part of a gang?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for hearsay.
Well, I mean, it may or may not, to your personal knowledge.
Did you believe that those guys who put their hands on Garlington were a part of a gang? I asked him.
James, rephrase your question.
To your knowledge, were the persons who put their hands on you, or on Garlington rather, excuse me, a part of a gang?
I don't know, because if they joined the game, I wasn't there when they joined the game.
So if they joined a what now?
If they was part of a gang.
When you're saying gang, are you saying, spell what you're saying?
G-A-N-G, gang.
I did, thank you.
So if they was part of a gang, whenever they joined, I didn't eyewitness. So I don't know if they was or was they false claiming or what, I don't know.
Okay. So forgive me for interrupting. Please tell the jury what led up to the drive-by shooting. What happened?
Well, they jumped on Garlington at the club. I assisted Garlington, and then went farther with us fighting. And then I don't know what happened on the outside. I don't know what happened on the outside, but then me, Garlington, and Zachary, we went and we did what we did.
Okay. Were you standing next to Garlington when he first got jumped?
No, he was coming back towards me.
And you said you didn't see the face of who jumped him.
I never really seen it. Somebody told me that they was jumping on Garlington.
Who told you?
People in the club. I can't give you a name because I don't know their name.
So what did you do?
I assist Garlington.
How did you assist Garlington?
I helped get him off Garlington.
As you were helping getting them off of him, did you recognize anybody that you were helping to get off of?
It was a broad, no. It was so many people.
Okay. You said earlier that you didn't know whether these people were actually a part of a gang or if they were false claiming.
Right.
Do you know what gang they claimed to be a part of, if any?
Maybe ask another foundational question first.
Are you aware of whether these people that you pulled off of Garlington claimed to be a member of any particular gang?
You said did they claim to be part of a gang?
Correct.
Overruled.
Actually, I can't really say what gang they claim.
Without saying what gang, at the time that you pulled these guys off of Garlington, did you believe that they belonged to any particular gang?
Overruled.
No.
Oh my goodness. She asked the same question at least 6 times, and the guy kept saying no. she wanted a yes answer. She wanted to relate it was a gang rival type of feud. I'm glad he didn't give in to it. But let's continue.
Did you testify that you began working as head of security for Mr. Williams, starting with his rodeo tour?
Yes, in 2015.
Right. Thank you, because that was my next question. Was it in 2015? So before then, did you work for Mr. Williams doing anything?
No.
Okay. And before then, did you work for or with Mr. Kendrick doing anything?
I never worked for or with Mr. Kendrick.
Okay. And before then, did you ever work either for or with Mr. Stillwell doing anything?
No. It don't make any sense to ask the same thing. I told you already I didn't never work for Kendrick or Stillwell. Why would you ask the same question?
I understand your frustration, but I'm asking for the jury's sake.
I'm not frustrated.
All right. How did the crimes that you committed, let's use another word, how did those crimes make YSL more popular in the streets?
You saying crimes, and I'm saying there's only one crime that I committed. You saying crimes, you using more than one crime.
Okay. So we'll say crime. How did the one crime you are talking about right now make YSL more popular in the streets?
I don't think it made YSL more popular.
Okay. How did it increase the notoriety of YSL?
I don't think it increased it either.
How did it improve or increase YSL's name in the streets?
It didn't improve or increase YSL name in the streets.
How did it boost the reputation of YSL?
It did not boost.
What now?
It did not boost the whatever you just said of YSL.
Okay. And how did it improve or increase the street credibility of YSL?
It didn't do that either.
Is it your testimony today that you know of no one who committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL? I need to understand that.
The crime that were committed, I don't think it was to do nothing with YSL to boost the credibility of the street. None of that.
I'm not talking about crimes that weren't done to increase the street credibility, notoriety, and reputation.
What I'm saying to you.
Hold on. Let me just ask the question. I'm not talking about crimes that were not done.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Asked and answered. He's answered this question.
Overruled.
I'm not talking about crimes that were not done to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL. So we can put all of the stuff that wasn't done for that purpose out of your mind. Just tell the jury, how did you intend, or the crimes that were committed, to increase the street credibility, notoriety, and reputation?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. That's facts, not evidence. He has repeatedly said there were no crimes committed, and she is assuming crimes were committed on behalf of YSL in her question.
Sustained.
Is it your testimony today? Let me rephrase. Do you know of 3 or more members or associates of YSL who have committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL?
No.
Mr. Sledge, are you a part of a gang called YSL?
YSL is not a gang.
I am asking you specifically, are you a part, or have you ever been a part of a gang called YSL.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled.
And I asked you to insult you YSL and not a guy.
Then if you could say yes or no.
No.
Okay. Have you ever been a part of a gang called YSL?
I'm just saying no.
Would you please tell the jury if you know whether YSL has 3 or more members or associates?
You said, do they have 3 or more associates?
Let's start with members. Does YSL have 3 or more members?
Working members?
Does the organization, we'll call it, have 3 or more associates?
What you mean by associate?
What do you understand associates to mean?
I don't understand what it means.
We'll come back to associates.
Right.
Do the 3 or more members of YSL that you are aware of share any common identifiers?
What you mean by identifier? You gotta be more specific when you answer the question.
Of course. Colors. Do the 3 or more members of YSL typically tend to wear the same colors?
We wear all type of colors. They wear all type of colors.
Is that a yes or is that a no?
I can't answer yes or no to that question because they wear all type of colors. You said they have specific colors?
Do they wear any particular colors? Yes. That represents YSL.
No, not that I know of.
Okay. What about hand signals? Do the 3 or more members of YSL that you know of share any common or use any common hand signals?
Have I seen 3 or more of them use the hand signal?
My question is, do the 3 or more members of YSL that you just referenced, do they use common hand signals?
Yes.
Tell the jury about the common hand signals they use.
What you mean?
You just said yes. Did you not?
What you mean? I can't explain to you the hand signal, but I know it if I see it.
Can you show the jury?
I can't show them.
Why not?
It's not an individual handshake.
I didn't ask you about a handshake.
That's what you said.
No, I said hand signals.
Oh, I don't see use all type of signals. I don't know.
Would you tell the jury which ones that you do know of?
I don't know of one.
What one do you know of?
You throw the Y, the S, and the L.
Show the jury, please.
Like that.
I missed it. And where is the Y, the S, and the L in what you just held up?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I just seen the hand signal be thrown.
Would you please hold that up and hold it for a second?
Could you see it?
How do you know the L if you don't know where the Y, the S, and the L are?
I don't know where it's at. I just don't see it sitting. I never even try to figure out why the SL is.
Then how do you know that it stands for YSL?
Because I've seen it thrown up numbers of places.
How does that tell you that it stands for YSL?
I don't know, Miss Love.
You don't know?
No.
How long have you seen that hand signal being used?
I don't know how many years have I seen it being used.
When would you say the first time you can recall seeing it being used is?
When he started saying he was going to have his own label called.
When you say when he, who are you referring to?
I think that's what Jeffrey Williams' label is, YSL.
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you, that's his label. YSL label.
Do you know an approximate year that you first saw that hand signal being used?
No, I don't remember.
Do you know when it is that Defendant Williams established a record label called YSL?
He's been saying it for years. That's what he wanted his label to be, but I don't know exactly what year that it was officially copyrighted, if that's the right word.
Fraternities, Masons, Eastern Stars, they all use hand signals. But let's continue.
Well, by my knowledge, when I first heard of YSL, that's what it's supposed to be, but it wasn't what you want to say legal yet, copyrighted yet.
What are you saying?
That was the whole intention. My understanding for YSL when he started saying YSL.
Who is he?
Stevenson. There's a couple of guys that rap. I don't remember all their names.
So when you testified yesterday that YSL started out as a neighborhood gang, and then later Jeffrey Williams formed a label called YSL, is that any different than what you're saying today?
No, I know Jeffrey Williams started a company called YSL.
Okay.
I know that much.
All right. And is that what you are referring to, that you were a part of in 2012?
In 2012, yes.
You were a part of Jeffrey Williams' company in 2012?
No, he wasn't. Listen, come on now. I just said he wasn't. He was saying that our belief is when Jeffrey Williams started rapping, that was ours. It's fit, and then he started saying, I'm gonna do a label called YSL.
When you refer to our, who are you talking about?
I'm saying when he talked to me about it, me and his conversation, put it like that, I'm sorry, about me and Jeffrey Williams' conversation, he was telling me he was gonna do the label called YSL.
And was Jeffrey Williams the head or the founder of the group you referred to yesterday that started in 2012 as a neighborhood gang?
No, not that I know of, not my understanding, not from my understanding.
Did Jeffrey Williams, to your understanding, have anything to do with that group that started as a neighborhood gang in 2012?
He used to be around, but I can't say, like, to be honest with you, I can't say that he probably was repping a gang. I can't say that because he had been rapping for a minute, so I can't answer that question.
Do you know or can you answer whether Jeffrey Williams, have you ever seen him rep that group you talked about, the two guns stood for yesterday, sex, money, murder?
I don't think I was really like around. I probably seen it on a picture. I seen it on a picture, but I don't know if he was part of that because if he was, I wasn't there when he became it. So I seen it a picture probably, I think.
Okay. Now, when you started out the answer just now, you said, I don't think I was around. What was the rest of that?
I'm saying I wasn't actually like, I knew him, but me and him like see each other in the park and stuff like that.
Yesterday, did you tell me that you had known, did you tell the jury that you had known him since 2009?
I still That don't got nothing to do with me being around. Just because I know you, that don't mean I have to be around you every day to know you. That's what I'm saying.
How often were you around Jeffrey Williams between 2009 and 2012?
Whenever I went to Cleveland Avenue, he was in the park.
And how often would you say that was?
I can't say, because sometimes he wouldn't even be in the park, so I can't say that.
And DK, how often were you?
She's going to try now to get information about Shell Kell, Nuts' brother. Let's continue.
Are you familiar with a person by the name of Kelvin Watts, who answers to the names Kell and Shell Kell?
I don't know. He wasn't there though that night. I know that much.
Does Shell Kell, to your knowledge, belong to a particular gang?
Well, I heard that he was part of a gang.
Are you aware of whether he claims to be a part of that gang via his postings or anything else?
Yeah, a lot of people claim to be someday.
Fair enough. What gang do you understand Shell Kell to be a part of?
What he claimed, 9 Deuce or something like that.
9 Deuce?
Yes.
Is that also If Gang or Inglewood Family?
From my understanding.
Yes?
Yes, from my understanding.
Okay. And is that gang, to your understanding, a blood gang? If he knows, Your Honor, I'm asking to his understanding, does he understand that gang to be a blood set?
Overruled.
Yes, I heard, but I don't know for sure. I heard.
Did you consider that gang a rival gang?
Please use your mic.
Okay, sorry.
A rival gang? No.
Did you state on December 28, 2022, that you threatened to harm a person named Kell because of that person's association with a rival gang?
Yeah, but at the time I didn't know. At the time that the threat was made, I didn't know he was this guy.
When did you learn he was If Gang?
I know it was out of that video.
Okay. Now we're talking about a video. What video are you referring to?
The video of me and Cornelius. But it wasn't about no gang situation.
What did you do in the video?
So I told him if he was looking for me, I had something for someone who was looking for me, who was not my friend.
And forgive me, you told him that if he was looking for you, what was that last part?
I had anything for anybody who's looking for me that's not my friend. He has no reason looking for me if he's not my friend.
Now we got to be careful of slang words that we use all over the world because it'll get you caught up. So there it is there. Let's continue. She's finna get into the word slang.
Of the 3 or more members of YSL that you know of, is there any particular language or words that they use that is besides the run-of-the-mill common English language you'd find in a dictionary?
The run-of-the-mill you find in the dictionary? Nobody speaks like a dictionary.
Overruled.
I can't say because whole world speaking about it, so I can't, like you say, in a dictionary. I wouldn't know what's in a dictionary. I don't look in a dictionary.
Okay.
So I don't know if the word you're looking for in the dictionary or it's not in the dictionary.
The word slime. Have you heard of the word slime?
They got a whole place called slime. They got a slime event. So, yeah, I don't heard the word slime. You got a plaything that you can take your kids to for the slime thing. So, yes, I have heard that word.
Have you heard members of YSL call each other slime?
I've heard people not YSL call each other slime.
That's okay. Have you heard members of YSL call each other?
Yes.
Now, have you called members of YSL slime?
Yes.
Now, when you called members of YSL slime, were you talking about that big old plaything that kids play on?
Miss Love, come on now. No,
Jury doesn't
we're
know.
not.
So you have to be
Of
clear.
course, I know they know. They no different from me and you. Come on,
Tell the jury what you were referring to when you
I
called.
wasn't referring to the plaything.
Okay. So what significance does the word slime
It's
have?
just a slang word we use towards each other.
And when you say we, who are you talking about?
The whole world, not just the Pacific people. The whole world. I call people slime that I don't even know. People be walking down the street, be like, "What's up, slime?"
And when you use it, what do you mean?
It's just a slang word for the streets.
Mr. Williams, would you tell the jury how well you know Jeffrey Williams?
I know Jeffrey Williams great. I know him personally, yes.
How long have you known Mr. Williams?
About 15 years.
How did you come to know Mr. Williams?
When I started going to the park on Cleveland Avenue playing basketball.
Are you older than him, younger, or around the same age? It's to Jeffrey Williams.
Yes.
Sustained.
And would you describe your relationship when you first met? Was it good? As good as it is now?
Me and Jeffrey once I met Jeffrey, we had a great relationship.
Did you hang out with Jeffrey Williams?
He was rapping at the time, so yeah, I used to go to a couple of his shows, support him.
The grand finale of his testimony, he confronts Prosecutor Love in front of the jury and the defense team about the changes he asked for in the plea deal, and she did not do them. Let's continue.
Mr. Sledge, having looked at State's Exhibit 444 Yankee, the document that we referred to prior to lunch, is your memory clear on whether or not it says that you were at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in section 7 of part 4 of this document?
You say I was at the McDonald's.
No. My question is showing you State's 444 Yankee.
Right.
Is that the document that you signed?
I don't
Hold on.
remember. I don't remember what I said.
Hold on.
I see my initials.
Okay. Do you also see your signature?
I said I see my signature.
Okay. With the date
Yes.
of December 28, 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on this document that you are looking at, can you read to yourself number 7?
Yes. I read it already.
Okay. Having read that document, are you able to tell the jury if the document that you put your signature on December 28th, 2022, said that you met at the McDonald's or something different?
It says something different.
And Was that something different language that you asked the state to correct? In other words, does the document...
I don't, by me signing and say no, but I don't recall if I asked you. I was asking you so much to change that never got changed, so I don't recall which ones I asked you to change.
All right. Since you said you were asking me so much to change that never got changed. Oh. Are you able to tell the jury what all you asked to be changed that did not get changed?
I just told you I don't remember. Because that'd been almost 2 years ago. I don't remember. Okay. Not that far. Not by signing.
Would looking at 444Y refresh your memory at all?
Yeah, you showing it to me and I told you my signature on it. You showed me that. I'm telling you that it's saying my signature on it, but I signed. I ain't saying I didn't sign. I'm not arguing with you or debating with you about that. I'm not saying I didn't sign. I just don't remember when I was signed. I just was signed.
Thank you for that. My question is, are you able at all to remember what things you recall asking the state to change that it did not change?
No
Objection asked and answered.
Well, can you rephrase that question? Because you've asked him the totality of it. Are you trying to ask him, is there anything that he remembers?
Yes.
Okay, try that.
All right, thank you. Asking it in a better way. Is there anything you remember asking us to change that we just refused to change?
I can't remember exactly, but if you show me the paper, I probably point out the ones that I wanted you to change that didn't get changed.
I'm going to show you states 444, and if you would not read anything, just tell me numbers.
I'm just pointing to you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is this 444Y?
Yes, it is, Judge.
I know this one.
Your Honor,
Yes.
for the purposes of the record, I believe Mr. Sledge just identified one. If he could just say the numbers so we can follow, because we're not looking at the sheet along with him.
Sure.
Number 8, number 9, I don't know if number 7 or not, because I don't remember.
I'm sorry, what did you say about number 9?
I'm just at number 7. I don't know. I know number 9 is one I asked you to change.
Did you say I don't know about number 7?
Yeah, I don't really remember about number 7, but I know what it's saying isn't true.
Number 7, you're saying is not true.
Yeah, I didn't hear that from that part. I heard it in the street. I remember. You know what I'm saying now?
I hear your testimony, yes. Are those the only two?
That's 3. Well, I said some I didn't really know. But at 9, I'm most definitely remember asking you to change and they never got changed.
Anything else?
No, not that I know of.
Now, when you say that you asked me to change 8 and 9, how did you make that request? Did you personally talk to me or did you ask someone to tell me?
I was telling my lawyer those were not correct.
And he came back and, at your request, he asked the state, that's your understanding, to change those?
I don't know personally what went on between y'all. Wasn't there. I was in there. Y'all was in the courtroom.
Now, at any time were you forced to put your initials on anything on this document that's labeled 444Y?
I was actually told you can initial, but you can get if you be called in, you can explain the truth of what you know, what you don't know.
Is it your test? So are you now testifying that your initials are placed beside numbers relating to statements that are false? Is that what your testimony is?
Yeah, because I don't know that. That's why I'm saying it's false. There's no way that I can know that if I wasn't there or no one who you have charged told me. I was personally charged with that same thing you're talking about. From the beginning, before any of these guys, except Shannon Stillwell, any one of the other guys, before they were charged with it, I never heard of that until May 9th when you put it on your indictment.
Okay. I'm going to show you that same document, 444Y, and ask you to look at section 5 of the document. And looking at it, is there a marking on the document? Does it refresh your memory as to whether you personally marked anything out on the document?
I see my admission by whatever it is.
Does it refresh your memory as to whether you scratched anything out and changed it?
I think y'all told me to scratch that. I don't change it. You wrote that. I didn't write that. That's not my right. That's my
Is that initial? Okay.
Yeah.
Is the change that you refer to on section 5 of page 6, is that the only thing that you recall being changed at your request?
No.
What else do you recall being changed at your request?
Well, no, yes. I'm sorry. Y'all can scratch. No, yes. I don't remember nothing else you changed at my request.